My name is Jared Meyer, and I work on the NinjaTrader business development team here in our Denver office. We have a fantastic event for you today with Paul Bratby, of Wave5Trade. I do want to mention it is important to understand that there are substantial risks in trading commodities, futures, contracts, as well as Forex. You should carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you, and that will just depend on your specific circumstances and financial resources. It is possible to lose all the funds deposited with your broker. You could even incur losses beyond these amounts. Please do inquire at NinjaTraderEcosystem.com/risk disclosure for more information or for a copy of the CFTC force disclosure. I will put a link to that in the room right now. Excuse me. Also, please do remember that these training webinars are not a solicitation or recommendation, but simply educational in nature. Also, please do note that this presentation is presented by NinjaTrader LLC, which is a technology company responsible for developing and supporting the NinjaTrader trading software. Brokerage-related questions should be directed to our NinjaTrader brokerage directly. The telephone number in the U.S. is 312-262-1289, or you can send an email to brokerage-sales@ninjatrader.com. And this is the information here if you are interested in that. And finally, we are very excited for this unique event in which Paul Bratby of Wave5Trade demonstrates a simple, repeatable, and high probability futures day trading strategy. Thanks again, everyone, for your attendance today. Without further ado, it's my pleasure to welcome to the NinjaTrader webinar room, Paul Bratby. Please take it away, Paul.
Thanks, Jared. Hi, everybody. So I'm coming to you from Spain. I've been traveling for the last 28 hours. I was in Chicago last week doing some Wave5Trade live training. So 10 p.m. here. I don't think I was slept properly the last 48 hours, actually. It's really weird. Anyway, let's get this risk disclaimer. So Rob H is saying no slides as well. Somebody's saying he's seen the slides. I'm going to have to get on with it anyway, guys. Hi, Richard. So quick risk disclaimer from Wave5Trade. Swing trading, day trading, short-term trading, options trading, and futures trading are extremely risky undertakings. They are generally not appropriate for someone with limited capital, little or no trading experience, and or low tolerance for risk. Never execute a trade unless you can afford to and are prepared to lose your entire investment. All trading operations involve serious risks, and you can lose your entire investment. Okay. No trades are recommendations or advice, and we cannot be sued for losses of capital. All trades are for educational purposes only. Contact your broker or RIA for execution, margin, and other capital requirements. Everyone watching this presentation adheres to all disclaimers on wave5trade.com. Okay, so let's start. Oh, you've got to love those lawyers, even more so now with this GDPR, new European rules on data protection. Well, I must admit, when I was over in the USA just recently in Chicago, when I saw an advert on the TV for a drug or something, to be honest, those adverts put me off because all it does is talk about the things that could happen to you as a side effect. So trends still occur on any time frame, even on a 5-minute chart for futures. Okay, so the Wave5Trade Elliott Wave, yes, definitely a beer, Trevor. The Wave5Trade Elliott Wave indicator suite is a great way of measuring and labeling these trends. You may have to log out and log back in again. Hi, Clemens, if you can't see the slides because they are showing. So we are still only interested in the fifth wave moves, as they are the highest probability moves in a trend. Now, this makes it a very specific type of strategy that you probably won't get a trade every day, and you only get 3 or 4 a week, but they're extremely high probability moves. So, but why still only the fifth wave of this Elliott Wave sequence? Because all the previous 4 waves of the trend have met specific Elliott Wave rules and observations. So it does work with commodities, and an example I've got in here does work. So I will try and get to the questions, but most of them I'll answer at the end, guys, so I'll just keep moving forward. Okay, so this is a screenshot of NinjaTrader NT8, Elliott Wave Indicator Suite from Wave5Trade, and this is futures for gold on the 5-minute time frame, okay? So all I wanted to show you to begin with was, it does work with Forex, Neil, very, very well, is that the software has labeled automatically the fifth wave move up on gold. This line down here, down the center just to the left of the wave 4, is the demarcation of the 24-hour period. It does work on 1 minute, it works on all different Renko, everything else like that. So basically, onto the left we've got a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth wave's gone and busted through the target. And then overnight we've sold off during the Asian session, gone the wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, pulled back on the wave 4 beginning of the European session, and then sold off, and the fifth wave hit target there. No, it's not a trade available for NT7. It's only available for NT8. So that's just a basic outlook. We've also got the oscillator down at the bottom here, and also, yes, it works with tick data, Jeff, and also a special stochastic, which we'll talk of. Just by the way, can you see my cursor at all? I'm running a cursor over these slides. I don't know whether you can see it or not. No cursor. Okay. I'm going to have to. Yeah.
Click a little pencil. Click a little pencil that's on that little dark bar above the slide, and you'll come up with some options. And just press the little, click the little red dot, and that'll help you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Aha! I see, said the blind man to his deaf wife. Can you see that now, guys? Okay, brilliant. So we'll quickly go through that. We've got the ABC correction down here. Basically, we can isolate the wave count here. It's not available for NT7, but NT8 is free. You can use the same data. Satish, you might have to log in if it's blank. So then the indicator suite has automatically labeled this a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. We're going to trade the fifth wave, and then similar coming down here. During the Asian session, gold sold off 1, 2, 3, and then we had a wave 4 pullback into our probability zones, and the fifth wave came down. So let's talk more about this and what's happening a little closer there. Okay, so this is a close-up of that bearish move on gold futures. It works on all futures. It works on stocks as well. I'm going to show you a Netflix has just hit as well. It works on every time frame, Clemens, yes, definitely. But what I wanted to do, I developed this strategy specifically to complement, because I swing trade stocks off a daily time frame with my membership, and I wanted something that would be on a much shorter time frame and would supplement those swing trades, and this is why I developed it off the 5 minute, but it does work off 3 minutes as well, and off tick as well, and things like that. So let's just go through this very briefly, what this looks like. So we've had a wave 4 pullback into our automated probability zones. So this wave 4 has found resistance in the amber zone, and this gives us an 80% probability it's going to go on and make a new wave 5 low into our automated target zones in blue. They're already up there. You should be able to see a chart, and it says wave 4 pulled back into probability zones. I don't know why we're having problems with these slides. You may have to log back in, log out and log back in, Sally. So
Paul, I'm seeing your introductory slide. Which slide are you supposed to be on?
I'm on slide 7.
Okay, there you go.
Right. Okay. Right, so let's go again. Can you see that wave 4 there, the yellow arrow, yeah? So the wave 4's pulled back into the amber zone, 80% probability amber, 85% probability finds resistance in the green, and 75% probability in the red. That it's going to go on and make a new wave 5 low into our automated target zones down here in blue. So then we have a 535 oscillator pullback between 90 and 140%. Again, this is part of the Elliott Wave indicator suite. It's to build that story and that confidence in this wave 4 pullback It's like getting the stars aligned, if you like. So we've got the wave 4 into the probability zone. We've got the 535 between the 90 and the 140. Yes, it's all automatic, Martin, and then stochastic crossed in the overbought zone as well. So all of these stars are aligning to give us a high probability move into that fifth wave move there. So Trevor, the green zone is the highest probability, which is an 85% probability. The amber zone is an 80% probability, and the red zone is 75% probability. If the wave 4 goes deeper than that, you're rolling the dice. You don't want to go in it. Okay, you've got to keep above that 75 if you like. So the basic checklist for this, okay, 5-minute chart or 3-minute chart optional. It smooths out the during sort of tight rangy days, or you can use tick chart, Renko, all works. The full Elliott Wave indicator suite, including the 535 oscillator and the new false breakout stochastic. Candlestick chart works well for me, but again, it does work on others. Previous day's close, the previous day's high, and the previous day's low, because they are decision points in which traders have made decisions, so we need to put them on the chart as well. We need automated pivot points, and we show extended trading sessions, so we show that on futures trading strategy. We don't show that on swing trading off the daily time frame. So we show the stock market's close to help identify the 24-hour periods and nothing else. We don't need anything else. Well, the whole thing about Wave5Trade is it's to simplify Elliott Wave theory. I've got a strategy that I've been using for now nearly 14 years. Put that onto NinjaTrader, and as long as you keep it simple and stick to the rules and get the stars aligned, it's a high probability trading strategy. So hopefully you can see the slide that says setting up the chart. The first part is decision points. So let me know you can see that and I will move on. Yeah, cool. Thank you, Stan. So first of all, it's just setting up the chart. So we've got the previous day's high there. Thanks, Fleming, Jeff, Thomas, Rick, Kevin. We've got the previous day's low, because these are all major decision points that we need to factor in. Previous day's close, and then we've got the auto resistance levels, the auto support levels, and the pivot point. So that's just setting up your chart, if you like. Then we want to be able to isolate the wave count. We're not interested in what's happened 3 or 4 days ago. We're trading off a day trading time frame. Yes, it's good to understand where we're going overall, but each day has its own trend. Today started off quite negative because we got trumped again. He pulled out with North Korea, and then it's rebounded. So each day has its own real trend, and we can measure that, okay? So we're looking at the previous day's high and low, the extended hours high or low, potential, these are potential points, pivot points in where we're going to isolate that wave count using the software. And then the current day's high or low, you could go, but don't go any further back, it's pointless. So let's have a look and see what that looks like, okay? So we're going to isolate the wave count. With this software, on NinjaTrader especially, it's very, very easy. We just click the cursor at the low, press F5, and it does everything. It puts the pullback zones, the target zones, the Elliott Wave count, does it all automatically for you. We're getting trumped a lot, Trevor, just lately. So in this case, we've got the session low, where my red dot is here, the big yellow arrow there. That was an obvious point. During the session, it was a low. Discard. If you've got the Elliott Wave indicator suite, we can do it by email. It doesn't really. It takes 2 minutes to set up this particular template, and obviously I do a training course with this anyway, and we do live webinars every month to help traders set things up, and then obviously extended hours highs as well are good pivot points to start and isolate that wave count. It's not rocket science, it's just trying to keep it simple. Also, we have options to look at session lows as well. If we've gone range bound, look at this range period overnight here, and then we start the session, we pull down and we find that low, and then basically most of the session then we're pulling higher up here onto this one, and this is NQ on the 5 minute, for example. So that's a session low. That's obvious. Once it breaks through these highs here, we're pretty much on a trend and we're just waiting for a pullback. And this software looks for those pullbacks into those probability zones, backs it up with the 535, the special stochastic that we've got there, the pullback zones, probability zones. You know, once it identifies those, there's good trading opportunities there. So basic entry criteria for this. Again, entry is important. Anybody can trade anything, but yes, this will give you, this software will give you the wave count, the probability zones, the target zones, the 535, the stochastic, we've got 6-4 moving average low there, but we've got to get the entry right as well. It is, yes, Trevor. Jeff, with this one, we've been running this particular strategy for futures since the beginning of January. I've got an inner circle of traders and investors. I sort of head up an inner circle, and we've been running this now since the beginning of January, and it's got about an 80% win rate, purely because we're very strict. And as I'm going through this, you'll see why we're strict. So we may only get 2 trades a week. But we've got an 80% win rate. So it's a good tool in the box, as it were. So what we're looking for is a stop loss, 2 ticks past the wave 4 high. Nothing, nice and tight, okay? That's what initially, once we look at you put your provisional stop loss in first. Now the entry, we've got a special 6-4 moving average. Now that's in red. That's a 6-4 moving average low. Stan, they are part of NinjaTrader 8, and it literally takes 3 minutes to set up. Again, if you've got the Elliott Wave indicator suite, I'll do a quick video to set those up. It really, really is very, very simple. So the entry's below the 6-4 moving average low, but also you've got to take into consideration very previous sort of support resistance levels as well. They may make you go a little bit more conservative if you've got a big rejection there or something like that. But you know, we start with stop loss and we look for an entry below the 6-4 moving average low. So this moving average is there for entry, okay? It's the red is the 6-4 moving average low. So that's the lows, the average of the lows for the previous 6 bars. Then it skews it forward 4 bars, candles, and the same with the green, but for the highs. And we have a minimum risk to reward of 1 to 1.6. I always put that on last because that's the most important thing, but you can't fudge your stop loss or entry first. You've got to allow this to set up, put your stop loss in, your sensible entry, and then put your risk to reward on. Now, if that's over 1 to 1.6, all the stars are aligned. You've got your pullback zone, you've got your 535, your stochastic crossing over, you've got a good risk to reward coming into there for the 5th wave move. Everything's looking pretty good. So this is building up the picture, if you like. So now I'm going to talk about the perfect entry. Now there's no such thing as an absolute 100% guaranteed trade, but this is the perfect entry using the Elliott Wave indicator suite that we would see. So first of all, the stochastic has pulled back against our false breakout indicator. The false breakout indicator are these little yellow dots here. So these denote a strong bullish move, okay? Because the stochastic is falsely breaking out of the overbought zone there, okay? Now it's pulled back against it. It's like an elastic band. It wants to return to that strong bullish move. So that's a good sign that it's pulled back into the oversold zone and crossed over against there. The 535 oscillator has pulled back on this wave 4 between 90 and 140%. Another tick in the box, another security blanket, if you like, that this wave 4 is behaving really well. Then we have the wave 4 pulled back into the probability zones. This time the support level's in the green zone, an 85% probability it's going to go on and make a new wave 5 high. Then we have our little green arrow indicator. Now this is for the stochastic trade. This is a totally different lesson and another strategy within our indicator suite to trade the stochastics. But what we use the stochastic for is two separate things. We use it to confirm a fifth wave move, but also a separate stochastic strategy. In this case here, we've got the stochastic crossed over, 535, the wave 4 pullback, then we've got a green arrow indication. So we've got even more evidence that this is this is moving, it's going back into the direction of the main trend. And then obviously entry here is sensible entry. It attempted to come out the 6-4 moving average high here. It failed. So obviously once we've got this green bar here, this green arrow here, we'd look for an entry just above that high there. Okay? So basic trade management as well. There's lots of ways to trade manage this. And I go through those in some of our education courses. But this is just one, especially on a 5-minute time frame. You've got to be reasonably conservative initially. So when we're trading that fifth wave, it is natural to pull back against there a little bit. But you get that higher resistance level, or if you're going long, get that higher support level, and the lower resistance level here. So wait for that first pullback to happen. You will see signs of exhaustion whilst that happens. Then you wait for the move to resume past that initial support. So if you can see the red dot, we've moved down, we've entered the trade coming out the 6-4 moving average low. It's found support, which is natural. It pulls back, but it runs out of juice pretty quickly, and we've got that lower resistance level. Now once it pulls through this initial support, that's when we adjust our trading stop just above that resistance level. So we're almost risk-free reasonably quickly here, but we're not very aggressive initially. We're waiting for that first resistance to happen, coming back down, it pulls back through here, and then we're risk-free. One of my things is to get risk-free as soon as possible when I'm day trading. So you repeat that until the target is hit, in which case it did here, it hit twice. You could have taken profit here. It really depends on your risk management. For me, I would have taken profit into this zone here. I would have seen this as rejection and got out. Yes, it did come back up, wouldn't have taken a trading stop out at this point, and then came back to make a slightly new low. But it was still a winning trade. So what if we are not in a trend? Okay, this is what I was talking about earlier. We have a stochastic strategy, and that's covered in a different session that we do. But again, I just wanted to show you that yes, it works when we're in trending, but there are other opportunities to trade that third wave using the stochastic. But that's a whole nother lesson and takes more than 45 minutes, believe you me. Okay, so let's go to the charts to see what's been happening today. Obviously we're on a 5-minute, so I can't guarantee what's been happening today. So let me just start the screen share and let me know when you can see that okay. Okay, cool. Let me just move that to the left a bit. Now, before we start, guys, there is an issue with the webinar software. Jared and I tried to sort it out, but it's nothing to do with NinjaTrader or the Elliott Wave indicators. It's with this webinar toe. There's something wrong with the rendering. So whenever I move something on the chart, it takes a time to render. So please be patient with me. Okay. So Trevor, if it's going overbought to oversold, it's what we call a roller coaster strategy, and that's where we use a stochastic strategy here. Again, I'm just going to talk about the fifth wave move today. but you would be going from overbought to oversold. And that really is a different type of strategy. We do trade that strategy, but again, we are just talking about this particular one for futures today. Okay, so yeah, so this is ES. You've got CL on there. Now you should have an ES. Right, let me just try something. I'm just going to bring Netflix over because I always like to sing about our software when it works. Just let me know when you can see the Netflix on the daily time frame. Let's see if that works. Okay, it's just rendering now. Again, apologies for this, nothing to do with me or NinjaTrader. Yeah, I will look at CL definitely. It's just had a nice move today. I just wanted to show you this because obviously I swing trade off the daily time frame, and this is where this strategy all came from. And obviously I've got satellite strategies that revolve around this core strategy. But I made this call on Netflix some 30 days ago that it will make the all-time high into that zone, and that's where it's hit today, guys. That's where it's hit today. So we had the wave 4 pullback, the 535 oscillator crossed at the wave 4, the stochastic crossed against the false breakout here. All the stars are aligned. Go for the entry. It's took its merry old time, but that is the times of the times with these markets at the moment. Volatile markets, these would usually take 30 days to get, anywhere between 9 and 20 days. This took 30 days to get to target. So, you know, that's Netflix. Just wanted to show you, I did make a video of this about 30 days ago on the Wave5Trade, and it's hit target today. So really, really happy with that. So let's get rid of Netflix and let's hit the CL here, and we are on the 5 minute with CL. So just give that a time to render a little bit. And then I'll look at ES, Jeff, to show you. Again, it's disappointing that Webinato is not working properly with this, otherwise I could scroll through the charts and really do a lot of work, but it takes about 30 seconds or so for it to render. So we just got to be a little bit patient here with this. So just let me know when it's finished rendering. I can see it on my screen, still working away. Yeah. Yeah, you should have been short already, Reg. If you can see my cursor on here, the entry for this was probably just below this low here. The wave 4 was up. Again, this is what I'm talking about, these previous highs and lows and closes. Look how this coincided with the wave 4. Really, really powerful. Really, really powerful. Really, you know, it's really good stuff. We've got support levels, pivot levels and everything, but this was yesterday's close here, and it came back up to test there, tested it a couple of times here. The good sign for me on this, on CL with our indicator suite as well, once you get this here, where we've got 3 equal highs here, but they are lower highs than this wave 4. This is a sign it's going to go. And look what happens. We get our red arrow. It's hidden in there, but that's our red arrow. That's a good signal. We got a false signal here, you know, but it was after this yellow, so we could have got in this one. But at the end of the day, it's not taken out the stop loss. It would have been above the wave 4. And this is a good move. Now it's gone sideways. I'm out. You know, the session, the US session's closed. It's gone flat. It's gone sideways. Taken profit. I'm out. This system available, Richard, I'm going to give you the link at the end of the session, and I've put a $50 discount. It's usually $449, but I've put it at $399 for this event only. I will give you the link. It's a lifetime license, so when we add more bells and whistles to it, you will get free upgrades. I do a webinar every month, which is live, as a live support webinar. And also starting in June or July, we're going to have a Wave5Trade Power Users membership where you will get to spend every day with me in the markets. and you will have special scanners there and all that sort of stuff. Thanks, Trevor. I know you've been using it quite a while. We've got literally hundreds of users. We're pretty new, but again, this is a strategy that I've used, a core strategy, for over 14 years. So it works, and I've developed it around that strategy. It's not just a buy-sell type indicator. It revolves around a strategy. That's the thing we're looking for, Frank. I'm in talks with a development team now to do some automation, but as you can imagine, it takes a little bit of time to do that. So again, if we look at gold today, once it's finished rendering, so bear with me a minute. Yeah, so today's all about futures. The last time presentation I gave about 6 months ago, not long after we launched, was about stocks. So today's more about futures on a shorter time frame. It is, Frank, yes, it's included, absolutely. It's all included. You know, the 6-4 moving average, the probability zones, the target zones, the stochastic, everything like that. I mean, you know, I was in Chicago last week on Friday the 18th, and I did a live training session for Wave5Trade users, teach them how to use the stochastic strategy. But what I'm doing is I'm putting an education course, online course together for everything I did in that day. Yes, I will do that. I will send you a link. I'll put the link in now, guys, and at the end. So this is the order form. Again, there's $50 off today for this session. I put it in there. Let me know if that works. Okay, let me know if that link works, because I've just built this particular sales page just for today. If it opens up, the system will work. It's just whether the page. So you see gold now. We got trumped at the beginning of the session, shot gold higher, but then we've been flat. Okay, thanks, Stan. So there was no trade here, guys. There was no trade. We need movement. But what we did initially, okay, so in the trade room, we got the 1, the 2, the 3 from these lows from overnight. We had the big move up. All we were waiting for, and it didn't happen, was that wave 4 pullback. But if you've got these screens open on these futures, you're just waiting. As I said, between ES, NQ, GC, CL, ZB, YM, you probably get 3 or 4 trades a week. We have the scanners for stocks at the moment, and we'll be getting them for futures in the next 3 months. Now, I show you how to do that. There's a 4-hour training boot camp with this, and I show you how to very, very simply measure this wave 4 pullback on the oscillator. It's very, very simple. You know, it's just a quick fib extension. You go from the highest point on the wave 3, you go to the 0, and you come back again. Okay, just that simple. And NinjaTrader's that great. You can set up defaults. So when I go to properties, I can load up my template that I've already preloaded, and I show you how to do that as well. We do that in the live monthly webinars, and I click oscillator pullback. I saved it before. Click load, click apply. That quick. There you go. That simple. Yeah, 4-hour boot camps included as well, and the free monthly support webinars. So I don't want to leave you guys alone. I'll make sure you make it. Great, Martin. Thank you. Glad to have you on board. At the moment, yes, Michael, because the scanner cost me a lot of money in data. But we're trying to reduce the cost. But I tell you, this is data heavy, this thing. So that's somebody wanted tick on CL. Let me just go back. Yes, Alex, once you've bought the first one, email me and I'll send you an email back, and I will do it by PayPal. You'll get a 50% discount for the second one. Yeah, but I didn't say that. 400 ticks for CL, wasn't it? CL 400 tick. Give it a little time. Okay, it's working, it's working, it's working. Okay. Right, I'm going to zoom out a bit, guys, because we're on tick, not 5 minute, and I just wanted to show you the isolation tool. So I'm going to zoom out, so you really can't see the ticks there, but I just wanted to show you how quick and versatile it is. So once the webinar's finished to render this, I'll just show you quickly. Well, I say quickly, it takes 30 seconds to render. Where we can go to isolate really quickly. Just click and press F5. The stochastic signals, Trevor, is in the Wave5Trade Signals membership already. If you're a W5T Signals member, which is only $97 a year, you get the 5th wave trades, both long and short, every day on weekly, daily and 60-minute time frames, and you get stochastic signals long and short on 15, 30 and 60 minutes. We will be adding daily to that in the next month or so. So you can see that now. So if I go all the way up to the top here on the left, I click and I press F5, you can see the trading opportunities there that were, okay. So I don't want to zoom in because it'll take a while to render, but there was a short here. We had another short coming, and it actually busted straight through the target. You see, this is where we go. Let me zoom into that bit there. You just have to let it render a little bit. Because sometimes it busts through the targets, and that's a good thing. And that's when, in theory, it changes from a 5th wave and you're in a 3rd wave. Okay? So I just wanted to show you this here. So we got a nice big move, long wave 3, wave 4 just hit the green zone, boom, straight down. Okay. Oh, it's not rendered yet. Hang on. Let me know. So yeah, you can see that now. Okay. So again, from that very top, we got the wave 1, 2, 3. 4 pulled back into the green zone, 85% probability. You'd go short below the red. There we go, straight through. And then if I just scroll through now to see where we are, loads of tops along this previous day's close. And then today we have had the pullback against the main trend on the wave 4 in the green zone, hit the 5th wave target and bounce back off again. And I'll just let that render because I'm talking away and I realise it's not rendered. Yeah, it works on the daily as well. Yes, it's well, you load the 535. It comes in one zip file, but you got the choice of all 3. So if I go to indicators here, you will see here we've got false breakout, stochastic strategy, Elliott Wave oscillator and Elliott Wave. Okay, so it's just those 3 that come in the zip file. And as you can see here, we've got current day OHL, we've got the pivots, daily calculate from intraday, and the prior days OHLC as well. Frank, you've read my mind. That is part of the education that I gave in Chicago. Multiple time frame strategy using 5th wave, using the Elliott Wave indicator suite is extremely strong, okay? It's a strategy. One of my inner circle members will be responsible just for that strategy for the whole of next year. That's all he will do, okay? he will be looking at weekly, daily and 60-minute time frames on a particular stock. And usually in a year, you can get in 3 or 4 trades, really strong, high probability on the stocks there. If you want to email me, Richard, if you've got to sign off, Paul at Wave5Trade. Whoops. Paul at wave5trade.com. Email me and I'll sort it out for you. Oh, absolutely jet lag, Trevor, but I had a wonderful time in Chicago. Thank you. There is a monthly cost, Neil, for data, but to tell you something, it's a lot easier to use than other platforms. The data is very, very reasonable as well. Yeah, I mean, if we just go to the daily now, let's just let's pull the stocks over on the daily. Let me just okay that. Again, for futures, you have to pay for data, and depends on the broker you're going through as well. But Jared will be able to explain that. But yes, now this Wave5Trade works on forex, stocks, and futures. Today was all about futures. I just wanted to show you stocks. I trade stocks off the weekly, the daily, and the 60-minute time frame. Now these are typical setups, in that the wave 4 pulls back against the main trend, and you know, Netflix is strong bullish. Then we get the 5th wave move. It hits targets. It happens time and time again. Oh no, there's no data fee for my software. No, it's all to do with NinjaTrader. And then on the weekly, for example, we are looking at C, so Citigroup. So I'm going to have to redo the wave count for this one. Bear with me. This is going to take time to render. I just wanted to show you really. So even if you're looking at blend investing and in investing in general, really. See, I hadn't prepared these guys, so you're going to have to bear with me a minute. It's taking time to render. I can show you ES from today. Yeah, just wanted to show you this quickly. Citigroup on the weekly, for those that want those longer term investments to run concurrently with their day trades. Citigroup from these lows, really good. Wave 1, 2, 3. The wave 4's found really good support. We're not in it yet, but 73.53, good entry for that long into that 5th wave, good risk to reward, everything works out very well. Lost audio. Everybody, can anybody else hear me? Okay, Ron, it may be something to do with your computer. I do. Okay, thanks. Cheers, Martin, Jeff, Michael B. Let's go back to ES. Sorry. Oh dear. Didn't want to do that, did I? Hang on. Let's go to ES from today on the 5 minutes. Was watching this today. Didn't really set up. Could have traded the range really. That's right, Carmen. It's reactive all the time. If you get a new high, it relabels it a wave 3. Get a new low, it goes on wave 4. That's why you can use it on a 1 minute or a 1 month chart. You just got to wait for that candle to close. 3 minutes, Stan, absolutely. Okay, great, Ron. You don't want to miss the Mad Englishman. It flies all the way to Chicago. But I tell you something, you guys, most of my inner circle are American, one's European, but they really did host me well. We went to see the White Sox play the Texas Rangers. We had a suite there. We had a great meal on the Friday night. Brilliant. Great time. Loved it. My wife absolutely fell in love with the city, which is a bad thing. Okay, so let me know when that's rendered and you can see it. Oh, I don't know what that is, Reg, but you obviously it is ES. You should see a very range-bound fourth wave tipping, going backwards and forwards. Yeah. So this was when we got trumped this morning. This was ES, okay? And then we found a good low and started to move up. Now, this was the start of a trend, okay? This was a good sign. We got the green arrow here. Can you see that, Stan? Okay, so we're coming from oversold to overbought. There was an opportunity to go long. Now, just because you get a green arrow, that green arrow comes on the close. So the entry, if I draw a quick line here, was there, okay, above this pivot point. Because if we've come down and we're going back up again and we go through this first rejection here, we go long. And then that was the stochastic trade. Now there's a bit more to it than that, but this is how the stochastic works here. We're looking at previous price action, 6-4 moving average high. So that was the long trade today. That's how to trade the third wave, if you like. Now the wave 4 pullback, and it's just gone sideways. Okay, there's no real trade there. The scanner membership is, bear with me, you've gone to mytradingbuddy.com, haven't you, Michael? Let me just get the scanner membership up. This is for stocks. It's only $97 a year. We put I do a video every day, except for when I'm in Chicago, and we do. Yeah, that was after the purchase. Yeah, the scanner membership for Wave5Trade. That's the home page there for the scanners membership, and you can hit the subscribe button there. And you get downloadable spreadsheets every day for these potential fifth waves on stocks. Right, the software works for stocks, futures and Forex, Reg, and the license is basically, as long as you've got NinjaTrader NT8, it will work on anything on your platform. Okay, but the license you buy is for NT8. If you want to look at TOS, you're going to have to look on the wave5trade.com website. The hotel for live near the airport? Okay. Oh, sorry, no, I've got to take that off. I've just got back from the live event, Reg. Just got back, Friday the 18th. I haven't been, it's oh God, what time is it now? 11 p.m. I got in from Chicago at 2:30 a.m. this morning. Okay, Thomas, brilliant. Glad to have you on board. I'm just going to put the link in again, guys, because I'm going to have to wrap it up in a minute. Let me put the link in there if you haven't got it, because I will be putting the price back up to 449 tomorrow when I get up in the morning. Just put the link in one more time. Again, you're not left alone, guys. I'm trying to build a community about, you know, the thing, trade the fifth. Reg, I live for trading. I live for trading. That's why I travel all that way to do live trading and meet people, because I live for it. And this works. I've done it for a long time, and I've developed the software and the strategy around the strategy. So it works, and I want to do those monthly support webinars. We're going to launch this W5T power users membership, which is an annual membership. It's going to be just less than $600, but you will get a trade room every day. You will get the first training education online course within that membership package. You'll get the stocks signals package, everything. Neil, right, shall I leave? I tell you what, guys, I will leave this license, this special offer open until the market's open tomorrow morning, Neil. Does that help? Martin, I like the sun, I don't like the cold. Okay, so I will leave this, as long as you've got that link that I've put in, it will be at the $399 until the market's open tomorrow. That is my promise to you guys, okay? So I will not take the discount off until the market's open tomorrow. Okay, no problem, Neil. This is why I do the monthly support webinars, and there's a 4-hour training boot camp with the indicator suite, because you know, you've got to learn. It's a good solid strategy. So it's a one-time purchase, Alan, absolutely. It's a lifetime license. When we start putting some more bells and whistles on it, and we're on version 3 already, and we've not even been going a year. So once you've got the lifetime license, you get free upgrades. Okay.
All right.
Reggie,
I think I'm going to go ahead.
Quite busy. Go ahead. Okay, sorry, Jared.
Oh, you're fine. Go for it.
So again, if it's not, if you're having problems, yes, it works on Renko bars. I'm going to put my email in there, guys. If you've got a problem with purchasing, because obviously quite a few people are going through there at the moment, give me a ring, and I can always send you a PayPal invoice. Okay? So sorry, send me an email, and I can send you a PayPal invoice, just as easy. Oh, back to you, Jared. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I was just going to go ahead and wrap up. Are you all set to go there, Paul?
Yeah, we're all done.
Okay. All right. So we want to give a special thank you to Paul Bratby, of Wave5Trade today for his great presentation. I want to just thank everyone for their patience while we're working through these technical issues with Omnovia as well. Appreciate that. Everyone in attendance today will receive an on-demand recording of today's events. Please keep an eye out for that email. It might not be till next week, Tuesday, with the U.S. holiday we're having on Monday. And just a couple other pieces of information. NinjaTrader ecosystem is pleased to sponsor these weekly vendor events as a value-added service for our clients. If you find some value in these events, we hope to see you again on a regular basis. I do want to give everyone a quick reminder that the information provided today was out of Wave5Trade and not of NinjaTrader. All information was for educational purposes and should not be construed as trading advice. Again, we appreciate the time you spent with us today. Please enjoy the rest of your day. We hope to see you again in future webinars. Happy trading from all of us here at the NinjaTrader ecosystem.